So, how do you use energy and energetic tools to create a really thriving, flourishing, successful business? It's one of those things that a lot of people look at and they think is, "Oh yeah, that sounds great. That's woo woo," and yet it's been the main tool. Like energy, working with energy has been actually the main way that I have created my business over the past 13 years, and or even more, even longer than that, I would say. But I started playing with the tools of access consciousness and joy of business, which is an access consciousness specialty area. Amazing tools for creating business. And I doubled I doubled my business. I doubled my income many years in a row, and I ended up creating an average 57% growth rate per year for 7 years straight. Like that was the average across 7 years in my business. So it was all from adding these wild, weird, wacky, wonderful, energetic tools. When I grew up with parents who were creators. They were entrepreneurs in a way, and I really believed that I didn't know anything about business. I just believed that it wasn't something that I had a capacity with. I didn't know how to do it. But what I did know was what I know, and what, like, my intuitive sense of things, my awareness of things. And that was something I started to cultivate early on, was my intuition, and really looking at, like, well, what's my gut instinct about things. I didn't realize for a long time that that was something that could really be applied to business, checking in with the energy of things and seeing, hey, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And using even more pragmatic, energetic tools. And so I did a lot of business coaching, and I just thought, let me find someone who knows how to do business, who can tell me how to do business, because I don't know how. And I was a psychotherapist at the time, so I didn't have business education. I had psychotherapist education. And so I thought, well, I need to find someone to tell me how to do this. And the funny thing was, is I actually did everything that my coach told me to do, and it didn't really work. It didn't really grow my business. Nothing seemed to really work because I was constantly looking outside of me for somebody to tell me the successful way to do it, the tried and true way to do it. This is how you do it. I wasn't including myself anywhere in the equation. So when I found the tools of joy of business and access consciousness, I started adding them to what I was creating. And these tools are about knowing what you know, doing what is true for you, following the energy of, like, what you're aware of, and we all do this in a way where you go, I just don't have a good feeling about this, and maybe you go ahead and you do it and you find out, yeah, that bad nagging feeling, that was actually correct, or I have a really good feeling about this. And then you go and you do whatever it is and you find out, yeah, that was actually correct. My gut instinct, my awareness, my intuition, it was right on. And so I started to really include that so much more in what I was doing. And I started to think actually a lot less and play more with talking to my business, having conversations with, like, the entity of my business and my different creations, like having conversations and going, hey, I think I might do this workshop. I might put this workshop on and offer it to people. Well, okay, cool. That seems to be expansive. It seems to be light. Creates some lightness in my world. Let me see. And then I would go, well, what should I call it? And then I just kind of check in with the energy. And then I go, well, when should I do it? And how much should I charge? And all these questions, just like having these conversations with our creations and the future that we would like to create in our business, they can all give you, you get a ping. You get a ping of, like, that's not going to work, or yes, it's going to work. And the thing is, that's funny about it, is that when you function from the energy of it, it's really fast. The pings are fast. So you get a ping, yes, no. Yes, no. That's a Joy of Business tool. The yes, no universe. You know if it's a yes, you know if it's a no. It's energetic. It's intuitive. It's not, let me weigh the pros and cons. Let me talk to my entire staff. Let me consult my coach. You know. And the more you actually follow that, and the more aligned you are with where you're going, like the more that what you're creating actually um, is like, if you have a sense of clarity around the future that you'd like to create in the world and with your business and what you'd like to have for yourself, and what you're creating has a sense of alignment with that, it will actually, you'll move in that direction with a lot of speed and ease, and you'll know when something is going to match it and when something is not going to match it. You'll just know. You have an intuitive sense of it. You have an energetic sense of it. So if you follow that, you begin to become, you kind of, you start to strengthen the muscle of knowing what you know, of the yes no universe, and just following it and see what it creates. And you will find probably that your business actually becomes easier for you. You become more confident with what you're creating, and probably becomes more lucrative as well, because all the superfluous stuff, all the extra stuff, all the stuff that isn't going to work out, isn't really relevant to what you're creating, like, you'll know before you even do it. You'll save yourself a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. One of the ways this shows up too is like when I'm hiring people. I used to, a long time ago, I had a studio, I had a physical business. It was a dance and yoga studio. And when we would interview people for our front desk positions, or to be instructors or whatever it was, my business partner and I would joke, we only needed 30 seconds because we would know as soon as we sat down with somebody, it was like, yep, this is going to work, or nope, this isn't going to work. And we would laugh and we'd be like, how do we tell somebody it only has to be a 30-second interview, you know? So we would talk to them for longer, of course, but we would know like that. So what if you trusted yourself? What if you followed the energy more? And even if it doesn't make sense, if it's not aligned with how the rest of the world works, or what a coach might tell you, or what you read in some how-to business book, if you know and you follow it, I guarantee you're going to be successful faster, with more ease and more growth of your bottom line in ways that you can't even imagine. So energetic tools are incredibly pragmatic. And there are a million more of them in the Joy of Business book and the Joy of Business classes. Business Done Different is a class that I facilitate, in, private sessions with me, and different ways that you can work with me, where we could really dive into what's true for you, what are you creating, and how can you get there even faster and with greater ease.